I still cringe when I watch myself. Very rarely.
In Delhi Crime?
Actually, DC was something that I didn't cringe with. And I was like, there can't be another Sridevi. Why are you even trying? When I did television, I was in a very good time where there was some amazing work happening on TV. But it wasn't this, what I did was not soap acting, it was just sheer bad acting.
Okay.
Neelam Mehra, the character in
Dil Dhadak.
Dil Dhadakne Do, she's in fact a person, she's totally, like that's one of the characters that I have nothing in common with.
Acting क्यों कर रहे हो? कोई नहीं देख रहा.
Satya is one of those rare films at that point of time where they were all characters.
Yeah.
There was no heroine.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to show for in terms of a heroine. I loved the character. The story was beautiful and I wanted to work with two of my favorite men, that is Amit ji and Vipul. When you look back in the 60s, 70s, there were beautiful films with amazing female characters. You know, whether you talk about Aradhana or Abhiman, or you talk about Andhi and Ghar, all these female characters, and at varied ages, not 18 and 20-year-olds. But then there was this entire patch where the lead, a heroine, had to only be pretty.
And like there was an entire batch of Miss Worlds and Miss Indias.
And even, you know, forget all of them coming into it. The fact is that the roles were that.
Darling 3D Diwali deals. நீங்கள் வாங்கும் ஒவ்வொரு பொருளுக்கும் 3 deals.
No compromise. உங்க சைடுலயும் எங்க சைடுலயும். It's a GT promise.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
MCR Pure Cotton Club, formals and casual shirts.
Hello, Shefali Shah.
Hello.
Lovely to meet you again.
Wonderful to meet you.
You know, we met last when we were doing the promotions. You were doing the promotions for Jalsa. And one of the things that struck me then has struck me again now, and it's a bit of a personal remark, but I just need to get this out of my system. One of the most striking things about you on screen are your eyes. They're luminous, they're big, they're lit up, but somehow they seem smaller in person.
See, think of it, everybody says, on the screen everything looks
magnified.
Yeah, so weight is a sad part of it, but then eyes look even more magnified.
Yeah, that's lovely. And you know, you've just really, it's come to a stage where every time Shefali Shah's name appears in the cast list of some project, people want to say, at least I want to say, okay, I want to check this out and see what it is. I think you're having a golden run right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You know, one thing I want to ask you, let's begin with the past. You recently on your Instagram, you put out this clip from a TV series that you did, something that made you very famous. But there were two things that struck me. One is you said, I'm going to read it out. After much contemplation, I'm sharing this embarrassing clip that was already doing the rounds and now I'm just owning it. Why is it embarrassing to refer to something that you did so long back? And second thing, why the contemplation? Why the thinking?
Because I mean, it's bad enough that I was acting like that.
Okay.
Now, I don't have to remind people that I was acting like that.
Okay.
So that's exactly why
But isn't that the meter of soap acting?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I know there were a lot of shows at that point of time. Now that's soap acting. There is something called soap acting. When I did television, I was in a very good time where there was some amazing work happening on TV. But it wasn't this, what I did was not soap acting, it was just sheer bad acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why...
That's it. I mean, there's no justification for that.
Right. So I get the embarrassing part. What about you need to think about it to put it out?
Because like I said, I mean, it was bad enough that people saw it then. Now I'll put it out so people will see it again. Actually, it was already out. Some people shared it with me and then I said, now I may as well own it. And I mean, I was tremendously influenced by an actress and I was trying to imbibe her. And then one day I woke up and I said, there can't be another one.
Who's this?
Sridevi.
Okay.
And I was like, there can't be another Sridevi. Why are you even trying? And I also realized that I'm a terrible mimic. So I'm glad I dropped the act somewhere.
Okay, all right. You know, the last film I watched of yours, and I mean film, as in was Three of Us, Avinash Arun's wonderful thing where, it's just this lovely, where someone has to go back into her past, and therefore you go with your husband and you meet Jaideep Ahlawat, who was your high school
Crush.
friend / something else kind of a thing. And one of the most, probably the best scenes I saw in Hindi cinema of 2024, I think, or 2023.
23, yeah.
Yeah. Was that scene where you're sitting across Jaideep and he talks about his father
Yeah.
who left. And your face goes through all these things about, why didn't you tell me back then? Why didn't I know about this? Why am I listening to this now? Would we be in a different place had you told me then? There's just so much happening on your face. I just thought that was both on your side and on Jaideep's side.
He's terrific.
I just thought it was just so brilliant, that scene. I needed
you.
to tell you
Thank
that scene was amazing.
And he's so amazing.
Yeah.
And when you have actors like that in front of you, it's a treat for you personally, because
Right.
then you just fly. And we do have very good chemistry. So, yeah.
Yeah, but tell me one thing. Is it, as I've grown older, one of the things I've tried to do, and I actively try to do, is live in the moment, because the present is all that we have. But looking at the scene, I was like, does the past really leave us?
Not really, no? Never, no?
Never, right?
No, never.
Okay.
It's just that certain people hold on to it stronger than the other people. Like, if I was very proud of that clip, I would have held on to that memory far more strongly than I do.
The TV clip.
Yeah, like I chose to forget it. So I'm saying that's an example, but that's what happens in life, right? You kind of remember what you want to remember. Selective. Yeah. But it can never leave you, and it shouldn't. No?
But does this past help you while you're acting?
Everything you experience on a day-to-day basis helps you when you're acting.
Right.
So there is no debate on that, because there are so many things, small things, big things. And I can't even, I honestly can't even articulate it, But I just feel there are so many small things that you pick up, and you don't know. It's there somewhere subconsciously put in your head, and then when you're playing a character, it's just like. And it's not even like, oh, I had seen it like that. Sometimes you are like, that moment had played out like this and you want to use it again. But otherwise, you just subconsciously, it just flows in when you think a character in that moment, and that kind of behavior falls in sync.
So when, different people, different actors do different things. Like some of them say, I'm a director's actor. And what they're basically saying is that I'm going to do whatever the director, he or she wants me to do. There are other people. Are you that kind of person, or do you also need to own the character in your own way, a little bit beyond what the director tells you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And luckily now, the idea of making a film is not just that the director makes it,
right,
or the actor makes it. It's always a collaboration, and it's like there is something on paper, and of course in the director's mind, and then what the actor brings to the table, and then it's just growing from there. So it's always a collaboration, and that's how I would want to work.
Right, but how do you know that you get, like for example, we're talking about Shailaja and three of us. At what point did you realize that, okay, now I know this woman. Now I know her. Is there a point that realization happens?
I don't know. It's not like now I know her, but it just becomes very normal and natural to flow into whatever she's doing.
Okay.
Let's put it like that.
Okay.
I don't have to remember or remind myself as Shefali the moment I step out of a vanity van that, oh, now I'm going to become Shailaja. It just happens.
Right.
When you are in that environment, you have these actors who are playing characters, and it's just, you're in that moment, in that scene, it just kind of flows.
Right. And it's also the clothes, all these other things. Yeah.
Everything just puts you in, it just kind of, holds on to you.
Right. If you take a role that's diametrically opposite to Shailaja in terms of class, which is your Dil Dhadakne Do, the unhappy wife, What was what helped you find?
So, I mean, obviously, like these are all very good scripts.
Yeah.
So
And-
half
and
the battle.
good directors. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
So when you have a solid blueprint and a director who's good, half your battle is won.
Yeah.
And then it's what you bring to the table, and then it's easier to eliminate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like both of us are doing guesswork. Let's put it that way. And I honestly, I do not have the ability to be able to picturize a film in its entirety when I'm shooting for it. I don't have it. I'm sure a lot of actors can, they know how it's going to be and how it's going to play out. I don't. So I don't know what it's going to be until I see it right in the end. So I'm very glad when my directors are great, because otherwise I would be like, I need somebody to tell me if I'm on the right track at least.
Right.
That is very, very important. Because if that's not the case, then I'll be totally lost. Neelam Mehra, the character in
Dil Dhadak.
Dil Dhadakne Do, she's in fact a person, she's totally, like that's one of the characters that I have nothing in common with. And I don't have a lot of friends, or my social circle isn't that strata of the society. I come from a lower middle class family. I still believe in my middle class roots. Yes, I work, but very rarely would I go to a party, because I won't have anything in common to speak or share. So that was a complete new world for me. But I think it was in the script. You could see the layers, you could see the pain that was going through, the way he was treating her constantly, and what could have been somebody who's living in denial. Right at the word go, in the first scene itself, you realize this woman, one, she is very vain. She's not happy about the way she looks. She sucks in her tummy. And when that woman is talking to her about her husband, she's in complete denial. And denial means she knows it happens, but I'm not going to accept it. And then she's manipulative, and she's money-minded, and she's broken. She's a really, really broken character. So I think there was all very, very interesting stuff in it.
In that thing, right? Now you started your film career, with glorious directors. You had you had Satya, you had Monsoon Wedding, you had like these bunch of early movies, but I think the most important early film that you did was Waqt, for a specific reason, because you were cast opposite Amitabh Bachchan and you played the mother of Akshay Kumar, who's older than you are. And at least at that point in time, there was a certain kind of stereotyping that happened when actors played certain parts. And I think that kind of slaughtered you as a character actor, as opposed to anything else. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think I also see even Satya. Satya is one of those rare films at that point of time where they were all characters.
Yeah.
There was no heroine.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anything to show for in terms of a heroine. Before Waqt, I had done television. Again, over there, when I was 20, I played a mother of a 15-year-old.
Right.
It was a choice I made as an actor, because the point of being an actor is that you play characters and roles which you are not at all, which are far from you. So that's exactly why I did the show that I did. That's exactly why I did Waqt. I wanted to do it. I loved the film, the script. It was based on a play. I loved it. I loved the character. The story was beautiful. And I wanted to work with two of my favorite men, that is Amit ji and Vipul. So I did not even give it a thought.
Okay.
And I wasn't ambitious at all.
Oh, that's where I was
did
going.
not
Yeah.
have a plan of action that I am going to be a heroine. To bhul jao, even an actress. It
Because
just
you mentioned
happened.
Sridevi, so that's why I was.
Yeah, that is because I incidentally got into acting, and I suddenly realized one day that I'm doing theatre, I'm doing television, and I get paid 200 rupees or whatever I get paid for it, and I do this all the time, so it must be my profession. actually like that, and I stumbled upon it. Even when you're in school, you have lots of things. I want to be this, I want to be this. Actor was never on the horizon. So I never had a plan of action only. And then, of course, like you said, once you've done it, finished. You've crucified yourself. It's so, then the kind of work that kept coming. Also, and at that point of time, the kind of work that was happening overall, like luckily, when you look back in the 60s, 70s, there were beautiful films with amazing female characters. Whether you talk about Aradhana or Abhiman, or you talk about Andhi and Ghar, all these female characters, and at varied ages, not 18 and 20-year-olds. But then there was this entire patch where the lead, a heroine, had to only be pretty.
And there was an entire batch of Miss Worlds and Miss Indias.
Even, forget all of them coming into it. The fact is that the roles were that. That is what was meant for, when you said actress, they didn't actually, I don't think they cared whether you could act or you can't act. What mattered was, do you look good? Can you dance? And I think, can you wear a chiffon sari in ice cold minus temperatures? So I think that was the world. So where would they have put me? And the work that came was not exciting. It was just not exciting. It was very depressing, for a big chunk. And then I realized one day that the kind of work I want to do is not going to come every day. It's going to come rarely. So I might have one project a year, or I might just have to wait for 2-3 years. I could have worked continuously, but I don't think I would have been happy doing it. Because then it just meant I had to go to work. I love what I do. So I only pick stuff that really touches me.
You're really very selective.
Very selective, because that when I read something, it has to really call me and draw me and say, like, I have to do this or it's life and death. So those kind of things don't come every day.
Life and death.
It's like I have to be. Oh, yeah. For me, everything is extreme. I'm extremely passionate, which is why I don't know whether I do it well or not, but I know I do it like with more than 100%, because I don't know any other way of doing it. So
when you're acting, if somebody passes your eye line, you freak out and you lose it, that kind of a thing?
If you're doing a very emotional scene and somebody does that, it's very annoying. Because it's very unfair also. You're in a moment. And I'm not, at that point of time, it's not Shefali doing that scene. It's Vartika, or it's Neelam Mehra, or it's Shailaja. You can't break that moment. When Jaideep and me were doing that scene, it was both of us in that, almost in that bubble. Just the two of us, like Shailaja and Pradeep, sat and had this conversation. Now, if somebody else is going to wave out or do something in the background, it is going to be bothersome. So, it does affect. But there are certain things, like now you get used to it, I think.
Speaking of Waqt, the director Vipul Shah, your husband, was hesitant to cast you. So I dug out this interview from 2005 where he said, initially, I was apprehensive to cast you. I thought people would say I was trying to promote my wife. So I didn't mention her name as a possible co-star to Amit ji. I only wanted the pair to be fresh. If I had cast Hema ji, Waqt would have been seen as an extension of Bagban. I didn't want that. Then one day, Amit ji himself suggested Shefali. Now, this is a very curious case of anti-nepotism. Did you ask him later about that? Why did you not think of me?
No, so there were two parts. One is that he did not think of me, and secondly, for the reasons he's given. And secondly, he also thought, as his wife and somebody in the industry, he thought he should give me the advice that once you do this, you will get typecast. So this is not probably the sanest of decisions you'll take. It might be creatively very exciting for you, but professionally it could be suicide. And that's exactly why he did not even suggest it. And I was more than happy when Amit ji suggested it. So I was very excited. And even at that point of time, he said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I was like, yeah, I want to do this. So yeah.
And Amitji had seen you in Satya.
I assume so, yeah.
Okay, right, okay.
What else? I don't. Yeah, must
Monsoon
be Satya,
Wedding, something.
Monsoon Wedding,
One of those.
something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And there were 2 projects. In fact, I remember where Amitji had recommended my name, and I'm so glad. One was Vakt, and one was Last Lear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rituparno's.
Yes.
Yeah. How was that experience?
Oh, amazing!
Because that's
Amazing.
that's a very strange kind of Hindi film because there's so much of literature. There's the tragedy of an actor trying to, all those things built in. It's not what you'd call a Hindi film at all.
No. And there are these 3 women who see him differently, and when all 3 of them have a different version of him.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful, and it's probably been one of the most silent, calm sets that I have been on. I mean, most of the sets have been like, but there is a boisterous energy to a film, or like there is an intense energy, let's say for Delhi Crime. But this was one of those very quiet, calm sets, and I think everyone was taking, the cue from Rituda, like how she was
At that point.
at that point of time, and it was poetic. And I'm so glad I had that opportunity to work with him.
I've always been curious, and you're one of the very fortunate few that's worked with him that I've met. How did he direct actors?
Honestly, it is very long ago, but I don't remember him sitting and telling me
you.
how to do the scene. I don't remember him doing that. I think one is that the atmosphere he built was something. And then, of course, there were actors, and then you start playing on how it grows. When you do 1 reading, 2 readings, and then it starts growing, and you come up with suggestions and stuff like that. And that's exactly how it was. I don't remember a single time he has said, "Do it like this."
Has there been a director that's done that to you?
Oh, yeah.
Lots.
2. And I was not happy.
And you're not going to name them?
No.
Okay.
So one of them actually showed me how to do it.
Acha.
And then I'm thinking, but listen, if this director is showing every actor how to do, then it'll be a character, like a film or show with all characters of one version of the director only.
Yeah.
So then what is the point of getting all these actors who could bring their own unique USPs to the table?
Yeah. What is your USP?
I don't know.
Is
I think
it
probably the fact that I still believe I don't know. So there is a freshness, there is a newness, there is that same tentativeness when I approach anything I get.
Right. So.
And it's like starting afresh.
Right. But after all these years, and especially after Delhi Crime, and do you at least know that you're a good actor?
I still cringe when I watch myself. Very rarely.
In Delhi Crime?
Actually, DC was something that I didn't cringe with. But if you ask me, am I a fan of my work? No. If you ask me...
I think very few actors are.
Yeah. Recently I was with someone and we were discussing, and I think I was with Monica Shergill, and she said there was an interview of these Hollywood actresses, and most actors do not like seeing themselves on screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, well, I'm definitely one of those. So very rarely do I like my work to bhul jao. Very rarely do I not cringe.
Right. And this is despite you putting in all that effort and doing all those things and being in the moment and all those things.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of punishment, a lot of effort for, it's like, let me put this, you set out to cook and you're doing a bit of this and a dash of that and you're all doing all that. And then you're like, but I don't want to taste the food.
Almost something like that.
Yeah.
And then you just wait. It happens all the time, right? Like if there's a dinner and I'm cooking for that party or friends, then the woman rarely lands up actually eating the meal. And then she's just waiting for everyone to tell her, good, bad, how is.
I think you answered a version of this a little earlier, but again, we spoke about this golden run of yours, Delhi Crime, Jalsa, Three of Us,
Darlings.
Even though you've not been as frequent on screen as one would like, but of course, Delhi Crime is coming out this year,
Yes.
the third
3,
season.
yeah.
So what makes you say, listen, I got to do this, because you said, you answered a version of this earlier, but I'd just like to get a little more
Instinct.
specific. Just instinct?
Instinct.
Okay.
Pure instinct.
Right.
There is no calculation. When I read a script, if it affects me deeply, or I'm like, oh my God, there is no, I don't have, it has to tick mark all this stuff. It's just like I read it, I love it. Or I'm like, the moment I get tentative about it, I know this is not my first calling. One thing is, when you have a very good script, then it's a no-brainer. Because you also know that if this director, even if it's a first-time director, has written this, there is that sensitivity and sensibility. And I'm going to love working with it, with him or her. Or the script might still be work in progress, but there is a director you respect so much, and okay, I'm in safe hands. And this is only going to blossom from here on. So it's both of it.
Right. Has there been a time where you've jumped into a project blindly because you want to just be with a particular team or with a particular director or something like that, where you said, I don't care what it is I want to do, I just want to be part of this?
I'm sure lots.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And they've turned out well.
I'm very proud of the fact that I was a part of all these projects.
Right.
So yeah.
What does that mean?
It means that I'm not proud. I may not be proud of my work, but I'm very proud that I could be a part of these.
That it's on your resume.
Yeah,
so
because these would be the films that I would have been, if I was not a part of it even, these would be the films that I would say, oh, I love this film. Whether it's a Monsoon Wedding, or it's a Satya, or it's a Gandhi, My Father, or Last Lear, or Jalsa. These are films that I would watch and I'd say, oh, I love this work, irrespective of me being in it or no.
How difficult was it for you as a theatre actor to jump into television, and from television to features?
I don't know whether it was difficult because I just took it in my stride, but obviously there has been a lot of evolution. In theatre, after the third row, nobody can see you.
Yeah.
It's only your voice that is going to reach.
Right.
Also, you tend to be a little OTT, not little, very.
Yeah.
And particularly Gujarati theatre, everything was, magnified. And then I did television, which I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't. But at that point of time, though, I didn't know at all. So it was like, you start, one is, I know my lines well. Two is that, oh, I gave that expression very well. Or, I did my bit very well. As you grow older, you realize it's not about your bit anymore. Did you fit into that the larger picture?
Right.
And with every project I did, I learned something new. Like this particular thing that I'm talking about, that when I did Monsoon Wedding, I realized that every moment is not yours.
Yeah.
And does not have to be yours. And yet, you being in the background is equally important, because that's how that entire film, that entire canvas got created.
Yeah.
All those relationships, etc., etc. And you just need to be a part of the furniture. Every moment can't be like, main jhande gaad dunga types.
But that's also amazing that early in your career, that was the pivotal role in Monsoon Wedding, the role that the character the things that she's gone through pretty much turns the film around.
Yeah.
And that must have been an amazing get, right? That feeling.
It was amazing. One was that it was Meera Nair.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I cannot visualize a film when I'm doing it. And it was a fun script. It was a great bunch of people together. And making that entire film only was like one long, big, happy workshop. Being in this, let's do this project, school project together. We were in Delhi, all of us together. We used to wake up, do yoga, have breakfast, then Nasir Bhai would do a workshop, and then after lunch we would pick one scene and stuff like that. So I have totally forgotten the question you asked me.
No, I'm just like, I mean, that was been a thrilling get so early in your career.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And again, at that point of time, I was like, oh, what an intense character and whatever. I did not realize the kind of impact that character would have on people. And, it's one of those characters which makes a difference. It's not about entertainment anymore. It gave voice to a lot of people, a lot of women who would never talk about it. It gave voice, and it just felt, I only felt gratification that I could become, a certain, I don't know, maybe they saw that, oh, if she could do it, we could.
I think that could be said about a lot of your recent roles as well, that they all kind of represent a certain kind of subsect of women. Like whether it's Vartika, who's pretty much, trying to balance home and a very, very, very tough career, or, all these things, or even three of us where, or even maybe not so much three of us, but Jalsa, where there's this huge evolution of this character, and and that's a movie that makes a lot of people ask, what would I do if I was in that situation?
Yeah.
That because that becomes it's almost existential.
Yeah.
That thing.
I remember when I was watching, we had a screening, and I was watching, and I had seen it before that. I've worked in it. I've read the script a million times. While I was watching it, and that moment when Vidya is stuck in the car in that procession, I was palpitating.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. I just hope she can get out and reach the boy in some way.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine what it did to a lot of people. Like, it was actually like, what would I do if I was in that situation?
Yeah. And so that's what the question is, do you look for something specific like that when you choose roles? Because you are very picky these days. Is that something that's on your mind, that it should be more than just a good character, it should try and be something?
I wish I could give a really profound sounding answer that yes, I look for meaning and stuff. I think subconsciously, yes. But like I said, I can't articulate it.
Right.
It's just gut.
It's just
and
instinct.
Then I don't know what is, obviously there is a lot of subconscious to it, why I picked this part or whatever. But if I had to tell you exactly, I won't be able to, because I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. No, one of the things that has emerged in the last few years is Shefali Shah, the poet.
Okay.
The writer.
Huh.
Yeah, and I just saw one of your things, and there's this event where you recited this thing that you wrote called As a Woman.
Yeah.
And, as a woman, I know. And one of the statements was, as a woman, I know you are strong enough to carry the world's burden, but my shoulders aren't made of glass either. And that really kind of spoke to me. And I was wondering, when did this side of yours emerge?
So I have been writing for a very long time. It's just that I haven't put it out there. And I've never ever sat and thought, first, whatever I do, I'm very critical.
Right.
So I'm like, oh God, this is crap. But it's just, I enjoy writing.
Right.
I really enjoy writing. And, when I did that piece, or then I just wrote a random post about my solo travel, which again resonated with people, which is a lot. One is saying, oh, it was so well articulated, wonderful vocabulary. And one is where people say, this is exactly how I feel. This is what I go through. And that just kind of encourages you and says, yeah, I want to do this. That particular line, so many men feel that they are the sole carriers of the burden of the world, the family, everything. And they're like, I don't want to share it with my wife because she won't be able to deal with it or handle it. But that's not true. I mean, as a spouse, you want to take on half of it at least.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and the reason I kind of talked about this stage of your career is because I think, you know, you're doing things without too much of self-analysis about how are people going to react to it, because you just want to. And I think that is also something that comes with age, you know, like I found that I'm able to do a lot of things now that I would probably have had 100 question marks earlier about, should I do this? Will people accept me doing this? Can I do this kind of interview? Am I allowed to ask this kind of question? Do I have this reputation as an interviewer? All these kind of things. And now it's just become a little like a lot of the
whatevs.
Right. A lot of it just goes you brush it under the carpet, because like it's going to be whatever it is. It's like sometimes you just have to be.
Yeah.
That's in the moment. We talked
Yeah.
about that at the
Yeah.
beginning, right?
Yeah.
It's like in the present.
Yeah.
And I got that feeling that you were very much in the moment, in the present moment when you were doing those things.
Let's say, for example, if I've written something, it goes through like multiple. After I've written it, it's like, okay, should I put it out? And then the first reaction is, it's crap, scrap it. Having said that, that's a separate part. But yes, what you're saying is right. After a point of time, you don't care what people constantly feel about you. Having said that, I do care about what people feel about me.
That's also true.
I'm
yeah.
very, very concerned. When there is any kind of trolling, even if it is one, touch wood, and I get a lot of love and respect. But if there is even one or two sentences, I will take it. It'll become like personal for me. And then I'll go into a spin of, oh, this person has said this. There must be some reason why this person has said it. There must be something off about what I did or what I said. So I do go into all of it. But I think after a certain age, also you get into that thing of, you know what, I genuinely don't have the time and energy to care about what. And मतलब अब कर करके कितनी गलतियां करेंगे.
Yeah.
And you know, if I don't do it now, then when?
Yeah.
When am I going to do it?
Yeah. No, because one of the things that poem told me was the language is so specific, so different, and some writers are very self-conscious people. I think most creators are self-conscious. So the thing is this going to be considered good poetry? Are people who in the literary circles, are they going to like it? It occurred to me that maybe you processed all these, but at some point you just said, F it and just put it outside.
No.
Yeah.
So I was asked to do Spoken Fest. They do this all the time. They have amazing speakers and singers and creative people who come on it, and the people who organize it, I mean, they do this all the time.
Yeah.
So they asked me, and I said, listen, I don't know whether I can do it. First of what will I put out starts from there. Then standing on stage and actually doing it.
Yeah.
That comes later. So I had this piece which I kind of modified. I said, listen, this is what it is, and I can modify this. First, if it works at all, otherwise let's not. You know, I don't want to go up there and make an ass of myself. And she thought that there was potential in it. And then I kept writing it. And if I did not have consent, appreciation, acknowledgement of that piece from 5 different people, I would not have put it out.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
the story. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Right. So, what's next?
Telecrime.
Yeah.
It'll release. Then I did a film with Vipul called Hisab. It's a bank heist, but it's fun. And again, it's with Jaideep.
Oh, nice.
And there is Abhishek Banerjee. And had a lot of fun doing that film.
Yeah.
And there are 2 other projects.
That's a good combination.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said right in the beginning, it's such a treat to work with actors like that. It's really a treat. And then I've said yes to 2 projects. So that I obviously, whenever the producers can announce, then we can talk about it. But I'm excited and looking forward to it.
You haven't done too many non-Hindi projects though, have you?
No, and I want to.
Okay.
I really want
Probably
to.
the closest you got to was last year.
Yeah, and that too, it was in Hindi and English.
Yeah.
It wasn't in a regional language.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would love to do something like Marathi cinema. They're making such amazing work. Or South. I mean, what beautiful work that comes out of it.
Do you find it easy to learn languages?
I'm not going to say no. because then I won't have the opportunity, if
work.
ever, to work here. But well, I'll learn. I mean, I'm sure I can.
Right.
Yeah. Marathi, I know. So
That's good. Let's put that out there.
Yeah.
Fingers
yes.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you
I
so much.
really want to work here, and there's such amazing, amazing films and directors and the work that comes out of here. It's exciting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
டார்லிங் 3D தீபாவளி டீல்ஸ் நீங்கள் வாங்கும் ஒவ்வொரு பொருளுக்கும் 3 அற்புதமான டீல்ஸ்.
ஆஹா, no compromise. உங்க சைடுலயும் எங்க சைடுலயும். It's a GT promise.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
MCR Pure Cotton Club, formals and casual shirts.